Hey guys, Eagle Trading checking in 7:30 p.m., 7:26 p.m. Sunday night, watching the E-mini futures. Not a big move so far, down 1.8%, 1.7%. Normally that's a big move, but the way we've seen the market move lately, it's pretty contained, pretty subtle. When I trade, I sometimes use different candle sets. When I draw my videos, I use bar charts. I think they're a little bit easier to kind of see what I'm doing on the bar chart, but when I'm trading, I'm usually not using bar charts. Sometimes I use a standard candle, or I use a Heikin-Ashi candle, which is what you're seeing right here. Heikin-Ashi candles are unique. It's because it's basically different than a regular body candle. You can do a little bit of research on it. It's kind of complicated to explain, but for day traders using 1 and 5 minute charts, unless you have two charts up, which I use on another screen, and I really can't show two screens at once, but I have a screen off to the left here that I can drag this over to and watch these different movements and different charts on different screens. But in any case, Heikin-Ashi are interesting. If you look at the body of a Heikin-Ashi candle, usually it's pretty good at predicting directional changes because it's taking a configuration of the prior candle, where standard candles have nothing to do with the prior candle. They separate and they are their own candle. This has to do, it's based on a median average of the open and close in the prior candle, where standard candles don't really have any configuration or correlation to the prior candle. So what you're looking for is directional changes. When you see a big body with no wick or shadow on the top end, it usually tells you a directional change is pretty strong in one direction. When you see these long big bodies in the green with no shadow or tail on it, it usually confirms a positive direction. Here's your doji it signifies a little indecision. Then you have the long body, no wick on top, so you know there's a directional change to the downside. Here's pretty consistent here too. Big body, no wick, continuation move to the downside, and some indecision. So just sharpening my skills here, doing a little channel practice. So my stops, where I set them, obviously if the 1 minute candle doesn't close, my stop was right here, I would not have been closed out. I won't trigger a market loss because I do a manual usually, unless I'm away from the market, and it keeps me in there so I don't get whipped out and then miss the move to the upside. So if I was trading here, I'd see the two directional body candles here, two greens, and I'd kind of start to figure where the support level is if we pull back a little bit, and then I'd probably go long and put my stop in a little bit lower than the tail on this one. And then you catch this nice move here, you get some confirmation, big body, no tail, big body, no tail, big, fairly decent body, no tail, no tail. That's what you're looking for. Doji beyond the mark here, because you could get a directional change, another body, a body, and now you're starting to see a couple dojis. Thinkorswim gives us a little directional change down. It doesn't really mean it happens right away, just as these right here show directional changes up, but we didn't. We got to move down. We got another directional change up, so be cognizant of that. I don't really pay attention to those unless it kind of agrees with what I say. Then I might be a little bit more aggressive on my trade. So just watching it in real time here, we can kind of scan over to the right a little bit to give you a little bit more viewing area. And you'll see that it's good to kind of practice after hours. We can kind of figure out now what the market's kind of trying to do here. Started to run out of steam here, nice two bodies there, but then you're getting some indecision, long wicks. We don't want to see that. Here's your doji, directional change. I probably would have shorted the market here. But once again, we're looking at my area, my lower levels too. I said 245 on SPY. Look at the energy coming off the 245. Now we're up at 248.60, 249, or 248.60, 248.80. So, just kind of playing with the different candle types here for trading, just kind of working on your system. You can do it in the real-time after-hours futures on the E-minis or Dow Jones. And VIX is the same thing, kind of play around with what you're doing and, paper trading in your head or whatever, sharpen your skills. But interesting moves here. Kind of indecision like we expected. So this could totally change in the morning, not a lot of volume, so we'll see what's up.